Hey guys, this is Nick from ForexForNoobs.com with my midday analysis. If you enjoy this analysis and my other videos, hit the subscribe button below this video. Subscribing to my YouTube channel gives you an instant notification whenever I add a new video. Also, please hit the like button below if you find this video useful. So before I start the analysis, I want to explain how it works so you can actually use it in your trading. On most Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I hold a live analysis session for my Forex Mastermind students. These sessions are recorded and posted to YouTube. I say most because some days I'm busy and other days I'm not trading, and I have a rule: when I'm not trading, I do not post analysis. In the analysis, I look for price action reversal setups on around 10 to 20 pairs that I'm currently trading. I check every time frame for every pair, taking a systematic approach to doing analysis. Personally, I do this analysis several times per day, but only the midday session is recorded as most setups are spotted then. So what are setups? A reversal setup occurs when price stalls at an area of support resistance and a transition of power occurs, from buyers to sellers or from sellers to buyers. I wait for price to approach these areas and spot potential setups. But these setups are not actual trades. When I share a setup on this analysis, it doesn't mean I'm entering the trade right away. Setups are just setups, and many setups do not trigger, so they never actually become trades. But some of them do, of course, and some of them become trades. To understand this, you have to know a little bit about my strategy, which I share for free on ForexForNoobs.com, and there's a link to the strategy also below. I use 4 different tags in the name of these analysis videos. The tags are in brackets at the end of the name. It's important to know these tags just so you understand what is in the video. So if you see no setups, that means there are no setups today, obviously. If you see upcoming setups on, that means there are no setups, but I have spotted some very strong support resistance areas, which may lead to setups later in the day. So that could be anywhere between a few hours to a whole day. And if it's tagged with setups on, that means there are setups today, and I'm sharing potential trades in the video itself. So let's get started with the analysis. Today is Tuesday, the 22nd of August, 2017, and the time is 14:05 here in the UK. You're looking at an USDJPY 12-hour chart. So let's get started with the analysis. I think it was on Thursday's analysis I mentioned a potential short here. Did anyone enter that? I didn't enter it. Seems to have worked out quite well. Pretty good week last week, to be honest. I think I shared a few really nice trades. You know, not to brag or anything. I think I shared a few good trades last week. What was that first one I shared on the Tuesday? Can't even remember. This is why it's important to have a trading journal, guys. This is why it's vital to have a trading journal. The human memory just kind of sucks. I can't remember what trade I took. I took that trade. I shared it in the analysis. I took it. And then on Thursday, I did a whole review on it. And I can't remember. Was it USD CAD? Let's take a look. This is why you need a trading journal. This is why it's important. I don't think it was USD CAD. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was USD. A lot of people say, well, my broker has a trading journal built into it, but that's not a trading journal. That's a trading log. They're two different things. A trading journal, you put down every little piece of information about that trade, including, you know, how you felt during that day. Do I feel confident about this trade? Yes or no. You put all that kind of information in because humans are not really that good at remembering this kind of stuff. So having a trading journal is just really important. I mean, I didn't even remember this trade. I couldn't remember which trade I took, less than a week ago? Anyway. I know it was a risk-reward ratio of 4 trade. So yeah, last week was a pretty good week. AUD/USD worked out well. AUD/JPY, I didn't take this one, but it worked out well. I think there was also, CAD/JPY? I'm not sure if that one hit target or if it came back to it. There was a few anyway. But yeah, let's get into the analysis, guys. Enough brag time. Let's actually jump into the analysis itself. What's going on with AUDJPY right now? It's kind of like stuck down here, so there's not really that much opportunity for AUDJPY. AUDUSD, same kind of deal. It's just stuck around about here. I'm happy with my exit ultimately. I know I could have got a bit more. This was my exit on AUDUSD. I know I could have got a bit more if it pushed up to here, but, well, no, I mean, it did push up to there. If I held it up to there is what I mean. But ultimately, I'm pretty happy with my exit because had I still been in this trade targeting the next resistance area, you know, it would have been just moving around for ages and not hit target. So I'm happy with my exit, got out of that one with profit. But right now, there's not much going on here. Nothing that we can actually trade. It's just in between support resistance at the moment. CAD-JPY, I don't even know why I have this pair open. I'm going to close that. Euro AUD, it's in between support resistance. So yeah, same deal. Euro GBP, that one's continuing up, isn't it? This one's not going to stop. The pound is just being destroyed. $2009 was the last time it was there. Looking back to 2009 for support resistance is almost impossible because price was moving like crazy back then. See these big moves? You can't really use support resistance from all the way back then. I mean, you can use the major ones, I guess. Like something like that. But it was just a different time and the Forex market was moving in a very different way. Too different. We can't really get good support resistance for this pair. So I think we're just going to have to leave it. Just no trading on this pair as far as reversals go. Possibly place an area up here. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't stall here. Because that's a major bounce from there. So yeah, let's see what happens when it approaches this 92.25 level. We'll see what happens, but yeah. EuroJPY, what's going on with this one? It's just stalling on top of that area. Well, it's bounced away. It's going up and down. Nothing much we can do there. Euro New Zealand, it's just pulling back to resistance. Not many opportunities there. Euro USD, it's just stuck, isn't it? Moving around, not many opportunities there. Euro USD we just looked at. I think I misclicked there. GBP AUD. Yeah, just stuck on support. Not much to do there. GBP CAD. Yeah, just moving down, isn't it? If you guys have spotted any trades, by the way, feel free to mention them and I'll open up. Like anything that I don't have open here, feel free to mention them. And we'll take a look. GBPJPY. Nothing. GBP New Zealand. It's in between support resistance, so nothing here. Shaping up to be a pretty boring week so far. GBPUSD. This is somewhat tempting if we get indecision forming on top of here. Reversal is tempting, but just one look to the left makes me very apprehensive. You can see that complete mess, so it would need to get through that mess. Then it would need to get through all that stuff. It's just such a mess. Not too sure. Let's keep an eye on GBPUSD for a potential long reversal from this strong support area. But, you know, likelihood is I'm not going to take a trade there. It's just too messy. But whenever I spot something interesting, I just pull it to the top of my list and I keep an eye on it. You never know. Might change my mind on that. New Zealand JPY, nope. New Zealand USD has finally started to move down. Took a while. Took a very long while. Nothing much there though. USD CAD is just pushing down. USD CHF, yeah. In between areas. USD JPY. Whoa, okay. Maybe. Well, we do have something here. just at a glance, it looks like risk reward ratio would be pretty horrible. Yeah, it would be. But there's always the opportunity of entering on a slight retrace, maybe even pulling up the stop a bit, doing a tighter stop. Ideally, I would want my stop below the low of these candles here, these ones. But you could bend the rules sometimes if you want to take the trade, if you think there's a strong chance that it's going to reverse. And I do think there's a strong chance that price is going to struggle to push down here. I mean, it's had several attempts and it just can't seem to get past this area. So, yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm going to put a tight stop on this. I'm not going to say that I'm going to enter without thinking, but I'm just saying it's possible. Looks like a possible trade. On the 12-hour, it's already taken off. It's very messy. I don't want to trade it personally. All I'm saying is it's worth keeping an eye on, and we'll see how it develops on the daily. I know this is a difficult concept for some people I'm not talking to you guys directly in the chat room. I'm talking more about to the people who are watching this as a recording on YouTube. I know that this can be like a difficult concept when you're new to trading and you're coming to a strategy, that sometimes it's a good idea to monitor a setup even though you're probably not going to take it because it's not a great setup. But sometimes it's a good idea to monitor that setup anyway, and there's a few reasons for that. The number one reason is you might change your mind. You might find that after you do some analysis on that setup, it does fit within the parameters of your strategy, and you will take that setup. You might find that you could lower the risk, for example, to justify taking the setup, because if you lower the risk, it makes the setup, it makes a high risk setup lower risk because you're risking less money on it. But more importantly, this is the important reason. This is why you want to track these kinds of setups, even though you're very possibly not going to take it. It's very important as a trader to add these kinds of setups to a trading journal, a separate trading journal. So this isn't a trading journal where you're actually entering the trades you've taken. It's a trading journal where you're entering trades that you skip. Now, I know that sounds very tedious and time consuming, and people are like, why would I do that? Why would I waste my time? But it's actually pretty important because that is all data. That data, once you have it, you can look back over the last 50 trades you skipped and you could see, hey, would that trade have been profitable had I entered it? And if it would have been, if most of the trades you skipped would have been profitable, or you can notice some similarities between trades you skipped that ended up being profitable, then you know, hey, I should take those trades. So this is what I'm doing with GBPUSD and USDJPY. The likelihood is I'm probably not going to enter these setups, but I'm going to track them anyway. I might enter them. If I don't, it doesn't matter. I'm going to track them and I'm going to see how they play out. And that means in future, I might take a setup like this. Does that make sense to everyone? Do you get what I'm saying with this? Do you have any questions? The only way you grow as a trader is to look at your data and improve. Now, a lot of people can't be bothered writing stuff down, but it is vital. Like, if you think about it, every job has that. If you're a programmer, right? You're a programmer, like a website designer, not designer, sorry, website programmer, or just you're making software. You're writing code. You write the code and you keep that code. Then you look back at what you wrote a year later and you realize how sloppy your coding was. I know this because I can code websites. So I'm really giving you guys an example from something I actually do. But, you know, it's not only that. There's so many other careers where, carpentry even, you make a table, then you look at it and you know where you can improve. And that's what trading is, the same thing. You have to have that data. You have to write down all your trades, all the trades you skip too. because that's important data that you can look back on and you could say, hey, I made a mistake skipping those trades and I'm still doing this like 15 years down the road because I still realize that I can improve my trading. I can tweak things and I can still improve. And I don't think you ever stop improving, really. Anyway, I've gone on about this too long. Important thing is, journal the trades you're going to skip because you might find that they're not worth skipping when you have enough data. So today, what do we have on the table? We have GBPUSD, we have USDJPY, we have those two. Neither of these look like particularly great setups. Very likely I'm not going to trade them, but let's monitor them anyway and let's just see how they play out. USDJPY, I took a quick look at it yesterday and I completely said no, but on the daily, depending on how it develops on the daily, I might be somewhat interested. If this candle here closes pretty much as is, there is potential to get in on a bit of a retrace or something like that. Maybe tighten that stop loss. So USDJPY has potential. It's not your classic nice looking reversal setup, but a setup doesn't have to look nice to be profitable. Setups don't have to look nice to be profitable. This doesn't look nice, but we all see what is happening here clearly. We see that sellers or bears have pushed down into an area of support. Now buyers are fighting back. The bulls are fighting back and they're taking control. So what does that tell us? That tells us there's bulls at support and that we're potentially going to get a reversal. Easy stuff. We all know what's potentially happening here, and not trading it because it doesn't look like a pretty setup is not something that a trader should do. On the 12-hour, way too messy. On the 8-hour, way too messy. But if it develops well on the daily, that has some more significance to me because it's stalling there for a long period of time. So that proves that the buyers are actually strong because they're stopping sellers from moving down for a long period of time. Any questions, guys? Or should we wrap this thing up? Thanks for watching the analysis. I hope it was useful. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button below. Also, for instant notifications when I post analysis or other cool videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Once the setups I share in this analysis trigger, I post live updates as I manage the trade, such as my entry, exit, stop, and when to get out of the trade. For these updates, add me on Facebook or Twitter by clicking the buttons below. I'll see you in the next video.